Pennsylvania, is Chuck Kennedy in the Beam Auto Sales Snap-on Tools 24. Kennedy, this is a brand new car they debuted last week. It is a Howell chassis machine. Their earlier ride of the year damaged here at the Drome, and so they're debuting this new machine, and the first lap comes in at 17.626, a respectable time for Chuck Kennedy. With the rain we've had in the area, the track is relatively green, meaning that it is not as fast as it normally is, so 17.626, a respectable time for the gentleman seeing his third year of campaigning on the pavement, Chuck Kennedy. Out on the racetrack in a Chrysler LeBaron body, Port City chassis machine, all the way from New Philadelphia, Ohio, it's Lonnie Vaughn. This is a brand new car for Vaughn, who had very early in the season his Port City chassis machine destroyed in a heat race that involved Rick Miller and Glenn Galt. So second week out for this Port City chassis machine. For you Mopar fans, it is powered by 360 cubic inch Chrysler block under the hood. 18:20, first lap time for Lonnie Vaughn, who will have to pick it up. Going through turns 3 and 4, a veteran of many Ohio tracks and the high banks of Winchester, Indiana, is Vaughn. He picks it up, the second lap down. 17.94 for Lonnie Vaughn. Taking to the racing surface from Jenners, Pennsylvania, in the Stoystown Auto Wreckers, Bob's Mini Mart, Tom's Hideout, 75, the Camaro body Port City chassis machine. For Barry Oddie, Barry the older brother to Brian, those two drivers campaigning with us weekly. Barry comes in with the fastest time so far. It's 17.585, 17.58 for Barry Oddie. So he sits on the point position with a 17.58. Second lap comes in. Let's see if he can pick it up. Just slightly, 1/100th of a second to 17.57 for Barry Oddie. The next competitor to take starter Ron Brutt's green flag is the Flying Coal Miner from Blairsville, Pennsylvania, in the Mott's Fruit Juice KFC number 30 machine. It is Rick Boyer. Boyer with a brand new Port City chassis machine for this season's campaigning. 92 luminous skin around that space frame chassis racer with a pace setter racing engine under the hood. The first lap comes in. It's a good one, 17.33. For Boyer, and Boyer sits as the fast time so far at 17.33. Let's see if he can whittle that down. If he can go 17.3 or lower, you're flying out here this evening. Slower the next time, 17.49. So the 17.33 will officially hold. And the Flying Coal Miner from Blairsville, Rick Boyer, holds the point position time. Taken to the racing surface all the way from Massillon, Ohio, in the Martinelli Service Camaro body WRC chassis machine, it's Bob Cibula. Cibula finishing third in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series regional points last season, and it's a brand new ride for him. 17.507, the first lap time for Cibula will put him second fastest. 17.50, second fastest for this longtime veteran of asphalt racing, over 20 decades running on the pavement. For the bearded one, Bob Cibula. A good time, second time around, 17.41, still keeps him at second. On the clock, this is one of Bobby Henry's machines, one of the Hodge transmission cars, designated number 17 for scoring purposes. Behind the wheel, though, is Scott Martray for Bobby Henry. Scott is Bobby's brother-in-law. Has never been behind the wheel of a high-powered Gatling's late model machine. A former four-cylinder driver, just taking it easy out there, and the time reflects that at 19.95 for Scott Martray. Bobby Henry with his two automobiles campaigning in the 92 season. Just an opportunity to see if they can dial in the Camaro body machine. I believe the second time was 18.85. Yes, it is for Martray. 18.82. Taking the green flag, this gentleman suffered engine problems last week at Motordrome during the feature, but everything looks good right now for White Pennsylvania's Chucky Kessler. Kessler and the Castle Racing Centers, Kessler Lumber, Midway Parts and Service. aluminum-bodied machine. First lap comes in at 17.76 for Kessler. Let's see if Chucky can pick it up this time out of turn 4. And started run right, drops the checker. The time is 17.40, so he becomes second fastest. Kessler coming in second fastest at 17.40. Now taking the green flag for his first of 2 qualifying laps is the 1988 NASCAR Winston Racing Series Northeast Regional Champion and runner-up last year in this region. An American Title and Trust 32, it's the Double G, Glenn Galt from Auburn, Ohio. Galt with the Buick Regal-bodied Port City chassis, drain-powered machine. First lap comes in at 17.457, and he finds himself third fastest. Third fastest for Galt. Can he pick up and set a fast time here? Glenn hooked up and winning last weekend. Oh, let's see. I think this is a good one. 17.08 race fans, and Galt just shy, I should say, of breaking that 16-second barrier. An extremely fast time for Glenn Galt. I believe it's the fastest we've had officially on the clocks all season. Now the man who's been setting a tear in Western Pennsylvania, he leads currently in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series points with 5 wins out of 10 starts and 6 wins overall in Western Pennsylvania. The charging one, Charlie Cragen. 17.24, it's a good first lap time for Cragen. Let's see if he can break that time that Galt had. The Doc Scanlon, Biter Brothers Crew, Casa Fire Equipment, Twin County Chevrolets, aluminum body, Port City Chassis Machine. Down the front straightaway, and the second time is. Listen to this, 17.08 with Galt, but we do have a thousandths timer. Let's see who breaks who. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Cragen breaking Glenn Galt's time by 1/1000th of a second. It's 17.083 over 17.084 for Glenn Galt. Meanwhile, Bobby Henry and his Hodge transmission machine comes across. 17.54 for Bobby Henry. This is his primary ride for the 92 season. The Hodge transmission, Brooks Oldsmobile. Ed Nicholson and Son Lumber Company, 77. Second lap comes in at 17.41 for Bobby Henry out of Connellsville. Now a gentleman who knows his way around this track at a very quick pace, and the Henschel and Sons Automotive Warehouse Camaro-bodied A1 Engineering chassis machine, Rick Miller. Miller getting a little bit of a push through turns 1 and 2. Let's see if he can pick it up and drive 3 and 4 tighter this time around. A1 Engineering chassis machine. And a concept engine under the hood. 17.426. Let's see if he picks it up the next time around. A concept engine, what I mean by that is more of a stock component engine with an optional size carburetor to compete against the higher horsepower 9-1 racing machines. It's a good one, 17.23. And that should put Miller at third fastest. The first time all the way down from Windsor, New York. He's a familiar name here at Motordrome, campaigning in his rookie season in the Gatling's late models. It's Vince Randisi. Vince Randisi, first time out at Motordrome for the 92 season. The gentleman with some 17 years experience running it in the Stoney's Light Street Stocks, very close to the outside retaining wall. It does a beautiful job at controlling the automobile. Comes in at 17.69, first lap for Randisi. Extremely close to that outside retaining wall is the veteran pilot from Windsor, New York. He gets way up, loose out of 4. Hang on to it, Vince. Does a beautiful job of controlling the car. Unfortunately, it will suffer in the second lap. Coming out of turn 4 to take starter on the green flag, and then Cobra Energy Resources, Marina One, Giant Eagle machine. It is Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania's Tom Erickson. Erickson, this is a new ride for him for the 92 season. And the first lap comes in at 17.809 for Tiger Tom. A 37-year-old self-employed racer from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania, exits out of turn 4 and picks up the checker. A good second lap time is 17:44 for Erickson. So by the slow NASCAR and its Winston Racing Series and the staff and management of Motordrome Speedway, we welcome you here for this evening's activities and would like everyone please to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, everyone, and thanks to Connellsville, Pennsylvania's Bobby Henry for doing the honor. Miller with the Henshaw & Sons Automotive Warehouse, Precision Chassis Center, A1 Engineering Chassis. 10 laps of distance will be going. Field tightens up, looks good. Let's see if they keep it clean through 4. Here we go, out of 4. Miller leads them out. We get the green, we're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2, Rick Miller jumps out with the lead. Moyer closes in with the Mott's Fruit Juice KFC number 30 machine. Kessler holds on to 3rd. Here comes Bobby Henry into 4th. Over Cibola's ride. They go through turns 3 and 4, and Bobby Henry trying to put the pressure on Kessler's automobile. Into turns 1 and 2, and Rick Miller slides up high, but the 30 of Boyer not able to take advantage of it. Miller down the back straightaway as the RPMs turned up, pulls ahead of Boyer's automobile. Into the pits comes Martre in the number 17 machine. Out of turn 4, Henry looks to the low side of Kessler's automobile. They dive into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Kessler wrestling to try to keep that car on the low side of this racing service as Bobby Henry keeps peeping in on the low line of that window. Kessler able to close the door on the salesman Henry. Now Henry knocks on that door, breaks wide open, and moves into the 4th place spot. And the window stays open to the low side. The Martinelli Service Camaro body WRC chassis machine of Bob Cibola moves through for the 4th place spot. Mariotti, the next one to knock on the low side of the 91 of Kessler. Kessler slams the door on the 75 of Audi and denies him the opportunity in that struggle for 5th. Meanwhile, turns 1 and 2, Rick Miller with a push in that automobile, the front end wanting to coast up to the wall in the middle of the turns, not able to run away from Rick Boyer's car. Miller is able to take it down the straightaway, but Boyer creeps up on him in the middle of the turns. The cross flags have started run rough, 5 laps down, 5 remaining. Bobby Henry is a man on the move this evening. He's been able to cast out the fishing line, hook the back bumper of Rick Boyer, and begins to reel him in. But it becomes a question of how much time and real estate we have left for Henry. The Connellsville, Pennsylvania pilot continues to close in on Boyer's automobile. Going back to 4th place, Bob Cibola has his hands full. Flock of automobiles behind him. The one with the most pressure is Chuck Kessler, though, on the back bumper of the white 63 as they work into turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, exiting on the 4, Rick Miller continues to hold command of this event. With Boyer trying everything he can to close in the middle turns. Miller again up high, but Boyer not able to take advantage of it. There's Miller pulling by a car length and a half down the back straightaway. Now, ever making his presence known more and more is the 77 of Henry. He begins to close into the back of Boyer with only 2 laps remaining. The rest of the field in a serpentine of metal and color down the back straightaway as Cibola holds that chain from 4th on back. Meanwhile, the white flag won full, 1 lap remaining, and Bobby Henry is in striking distance on Boyer's automobile. Henry closes right up on Rick Boyer, who conversely is not able to do the same to Miller. And look at that, Chuck Kessler gets out of shape, falls way back, and here comes Audi on his machine. not able to make the move. It will be the Hitchell & Sons Automotive Warehouse 19 to Rick Miller. Second will go to Rick Boyer. Third to Bobby Henry. Fourth to Bob Sibla. And a distant fifth to Chuck Kennedy. So it's Miller, Boyer, Henry, Sibla, and Kessler, your top 5 on the Pepsi Pro Stock division. Wiltrot and Pat will lead the Pepsi Pro Stocks through turns 3 and 4 for this qualifying event. Here we go. The green is unfolded. We're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2. And Wiltrot takes off with a point position, followed by Rapid Robert Arsenberger, the WVSC Pizza Hut, JW Industries 68 of Bradley Cole. The Somerset, Pennsylvania pilot is knocking on the door of Arsenberger's automobile out of turn 4, and he's bringing the Marks Auto Body. Berlin Oil Company 07 to Jeff Dummer right with him in 4th place. Meanwhile, the Castle, Pat gets crossed up in the red 70 and has to pull off the pace just momentarily. Meanwhile, the Pepsi Pro Stocks out of turn 4, and Wiltrot way up high. And the Caddyshack number 10 machine able to hold on to it. Stretches it out by a car length over the 26 Arsenberger. Now Arsenberger begins to reel him in down the back straight. Wiltrot trying to hang on to this lead through turns 3 and 4. Gets wide out of 4, but hangs right onto that groove. The Lucas machine, Caddyshack number 10 of Gary Wiltrot, looking very impressive out there. The car a little bit squirrely down the back straight. He almost loses a handle, and he pays for it by a lot. Look at this! Look at Cole sneaking down in an unknown groove on the racetrack, and he grabs second place position. Bradley Cole on the move, and he brings the VJ's Express 07 to Jeff Dunbar right with him. Those 2 cars haunting the back bumper of Wiltrot's automobile. Into turns 3 and 4. 4 laps down, 6 remaining, and Cole trying to low side again on Wiltrot, cannot make the move. Into 1 and 2, Bradley Cole trying to knock on the door. Wiltrot fades up high. Cole not able to take advantage of it. Here comes Dunbar. Dunbar working the Marks Auto Bodies. Rain Soft Water Conditioner 07 to the low. Look out! Almost near disaster! And oh my goodness! Bradley Cole hung up on the outside. Here comes Jeff Dunbar down to the low side. They work wheel to wheel, side by side, and Dunbar opens up the window. He plays salesman and climbs right through the window into the position number 2nd on Cole. Cole tries to come right back up on him. Into turns 1 and 2, Bradley Cole getting caught behind Wiltrot's car and the lap previous to this one. And Jeff Dunbar taking advantage of the low side, closes right up on the back bumper of Wiltrot. He starts to sneak to the low side. Out of turn 4, Wiltrot gets a car. Look out on the front straight. We're still not done. My goodness, now you can see that one almost coming. Gary Wiltrot coming out of the turns, exiting high, working that part of the racing surface, and he's beginning squirrely lap after lap, and then that car just getting up a little bit high, getting crossed up to that automobile as well. And maybe Joe Rolick will be able to apprise us of some more specific information as we head down that way to Joe. Trots with the right front suspension sheared, upper lower A-arms, struts, radius rod, things like that that hold those tires, the suspension geometry of the wheel, that is, in true fashion, have been damaged. So work will be cut out for the Brenning Brothers crew if they're able to rejoin the feature later this evening. Meanwhile, Starter Ron Butt holds the yellow flag in popsicle stick style fashion, saying the next time around we'll turn you loose. Get Pat. Here we go, out of turn 4. The green is unfolded. We're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Bob Kossel tries the low side on Arsenberger's machine. Arsenberger denies him the opportunity. Again, the right rear, or the right side of that automobile smoking on Ford Thunderbird body 26 Arsenberger. David Ambrosio, the right front of that car smoking, perhaps the fender rubbing there, and it looked like a puff of smoke came off the right rear. We'll be watching that very closely. The Garlitz Insurance 26 machine begins to hound the back bumper of Bradley Cole's 68 as they work down the back straightaway. Bob Kossel keeping both automobiles in sight in that RCS Racing Engines Oldsmobile bodied machine. Into turns 1 and 2, the white flag out. 1 lap remaining for Bradley Cole down the back straightaway. The sophomore pilot in the Pepsi Pro Stocks has a 2.5 car length lead over Rapid Robert Arsenberger, who finds Kossel. Bob's Frank Kossel a third, closing in on him. The win will go to Cole. Second will go to Arsenberger over Bob Kossel, and a distant fourth to get Pat. Nick Duratz out of Carnegie, Pennsylvania. Outside of him, the Tasco 55 of the Wildman. 10 laps to distance. It will be up to Duratz, a rookie, only his third time ever racing on the pavement. We'll be watching him closely. Here we go, out of turn 4. The green's on full. We're up to speed and racing, and Duratz finds all kinds of pressure on him. Down the front straightaway. Look at this, race fans. Nick Duratz trying to find a way to go to the low side and allow the faster machines past him. They're able to do it. The Wildman, Al Angelico, takes off the lead. It's a sandwich job! Oh, Mabel, open the refrigerator and bring out the mayonnaise in turn 3 as Duratz falls back through the field. Meanwhile, on the front straight, we've got a great battle going on for the second spot into turns 1 and 2. Jack Satosky tries the low side. Tony Baum cannot make the move. Down the back straightaway. Up high goes Baum. Down low. Look at this. It's another sandwich job. Open that refrigerator. Keep it open. Look out. Oh, my goodness. Brian Audie runs out of racing room and has to pull out of that 3-wide group as we go into turns 1 and 2. Brian Audie looking for racer and loses out now. The 0-5 of Barron goes up high. Here comes Brian Audie down low as they struggle for the 5th place position. And it turns 1 and 2 very close together. Those automobiles now. Barron settles up high and it allows Audie to get his automobile through. It's all the Outdoor Specialties Tasco 55 of the Wildman, Al Angelico, by some 15 car lengths of Satosky. Here's a battle for third. The 25 of Coral dives to the low side of the 22 machine of Tony Baum. They work in that struggle for third very close together. And Coral Anderson's late model salvage 25 pulls off the spot. Sets his sights on Jack Satosky's automobile. On the back straightaway, Coral, who captured a career first feature win a few weeks back on the pavement right here at the Drome, continues to close up to the back bumper Satosky in a battle for the bridesmaid position. We work into turns 1 and 2 in the parts plus number 30 of Satosky trying to hold on with that Chevelle to the bridesmaid spot. Here comes Coral. Coral dive bombs to the low side. Satosky slams the door on him. Down the front straightaway. 6 laps in the book out of the 10 slated to go. We continue this battle for second. Meanwhile, Alan Angelico begins to have smoke pour out of the back bumper of the 55. Look at it when he dives into the turns. The smoke seems to pour out of that automobile, but meanwhile the battle continues for the bridesmaid spot. Looking back in the struggle for 4th place position, and Brian Audie coming up through the field after being pinched out of a sandwich job 5 laps ago, moves in to the 4th place position. Here comes Coral. Coral dives to the low side of 30 Satosky. They run wheel to wheel, fender to fender, and Coral muscles his way around to the low side and picks up the bridesmaid spot with 2 laps remaining. Angelico continues with smoke pouring out of that automobile when he lets off the throttle into the turns. There it goes again. The Tasco 55 coming up on lap traffic, but he'll only have 1 more circuit to complete to pick up starter Ron Butt's checker. Ron Coral continues trying to close up. Could lap traffic play a problem, race fans? Watch this down the back straight. Now Nick Duratz in the 7 may be going high. Keffer in the 42. Let's see what Angelico does with it. Angelico closes right up on the lapped automobiles. Now we're going 2 right in front of him. What's he? He has plenty of time and he makes it. Oh, it could have been trouble, but time was on Angelico's side and he almost goes into the infield and loses the automobile. Sees an opening between 2 lapped automobiles to pick up the checker. Second will go to Coral. Audie finishes 3rd. Satosky. Marty Edwards is inside 2nd row. 4 is Jim Petrie. 2, Mike Heminger. The 8 is Brett Boyer, Rick Boyer's younger brother. And a 95. Good to see him back in action is Ken McDonough. Here we go, and we've got a serious job on the front straightaway 3 wide. Then it turns 1 and 2. And Dietrich takes off with the lead. Here comes Komarinsky, wasting no time. Komarinsky in the Rock and Dirt Drilling 33 begins close, and oh, we're trying to go 3 wide again into turn 3. Holy smokes! Pull the plug in his bathtub and drain the water. We're running out of racing room as we go through turns 3 and 4. And the man on the move is Mike Heminger, the Pierce Stock graduate. And then Oshkosh Cohen 72. He is already up to 3rd place position. Begins to close in on the 2 lead automobiles. Up high goes Schneider. Here comes the 4 of Petrie. Now back to our leaders in turn 3. Komarinsky dive bombs low on the 88 of Dietrich through turns 3 and 4. And John Komarinsky takes over the point position. Here comes Heminger. Also moved up through the field in the MCR 95 is Ken McDonough, the Uniontown, Pennsylvania pilot, right there with Petrie's automobile as they struggle for the battle for fourth. Meanwhile, in turns 3 and 4, taking over the bridesmaid position, it's Mike Heminger. And the North Star Equipment 72 sets his sights on Komarinsky's automobile. Into 1 and 2, and it sounds like either the 57 of Edwards or the 8 of Brett Boyer, one of those cars is missing severely down the back straight. And it must be Edwards. Boyer getting by cleanly in the Paul Henry-owned number 8 machine. Meanwhile, oh, look at this. Heminger right up to the back bumper. Komarinsky, he's so close he can look at John's rearview mirror and comb his hair, race fans. On the back straightaway, Mike Heminger looking for racing room, chooses the outside line in 3 and 4. Komarinsky right there, shuffles a little bit, slides up high. He opens up the window. Here comes Heminger. We're fender to fender with the cross flags. 5 laps down, 5 remaining. Into turns 1 and 2, and Mike Heminger takes over the point position. Edwards continues. Sounds like he's running on 7 cylinders in a Stoney slide machine. Oh, way up high is McDonough. He gets into the loose marbles, almost into the outside retaining wall. And the Mid-City Hotel 95 is slowing down. He may come to a stop out there, race fans. After running in the top 4 positions, that car has just lost power. He'll be heading to the infield, and it looks like he may have problems in the suspension of that automobile. There's sparks coming out of, oh, he has lost the wheel. He's lost the hub attachment or something in the suspension of the right front of that automobile, and he tried to limp into the infield, just can't make it. It brings out the yellow. Heat into the racing slicks. Here we go. He gets on the throttle. Green is out. We're up to speed in racing. On the restart, 4 laps remaining. Stoney's Light Street Stars come across the line. John Komarinsky trying to close in on Heminger's automobile. Cannot do it. Randy Dietrich, who held the lead in the opening lap, still continues to run third. The impressive run out there right now is for the go-kart veteran, Brett Boyer out of Blairsville. Boyer, a very competent racer in go-karts on both asphalt and dirt, in his first full season of racing in a full-bodied stock car. And this Paul Henry-owned automobile in the Stoney's Light Street Stocks is making his presence known. It hasn't taken him long to adapt to a 3,400-pound automobile. And the landscaper from Blairsville, Pennsylvania begins to close right up on the back bumper. Dietrich's automobile, he sets up to the low side. Look at Boyer. He's haunting the back bumper. Dietrich's automobile very close together as they go into turns 3 and 4. Boyer dives to the low side, plays a salesman, knocks on the door, but Dietrich slams it on him. The white flag, 1 lap remaining. Into 1 and 2, it continues to be all Heminger out there now. Boyer tries to set up to the outside in this struggle for third down the back straight. Brett Boyer down the back straight, commits to the outside, very close to the outside retaining wall. They dive into turns 3 and 4 in this struggle for third. Your winner will be Heminger. Second will go to a 30 career. Komarinsky. Here comes a dry race for third. Boyer high, wide, and handsome takes it by a hood over the 33 of Randy Dietrich. 5th place will go to the 4, Jim Petrie. So Boyer making a last race effort after going to the inside, setting up to the outside. At D4 as Rick Sheeler won is Dave Burnell, the flying sign. Martini Racing Machine, that's a 77 Chevelle. Let's see what they do. Front row looks good out of turn 4. Do we get the green? Yes, we do. We're up to speed in racing. Oh, watch Mark Griffith in the middle of the pack. He's seesawing back and forth, looking like a fish running through water. Now he settles the car back down, but the high-tech hobbies number 1 today, Burnell, moves to the outside. They don't call him the flying sign, Peter for nothing. Look at George Nicola from the back of the field. Shot like a cannon, 3-line momentarily with Presnell. Meanwhile, in the lead battle, it's the Durkas Autobody 87. Dirt trekking on the 4. Butch Durkas takes over the lead. Oh, on the front straight, we've got Kissing Cousins trading some paint out there. This is 71 of Griffith and the 32 of Nicola. We continue. Green flag racing. Meanwhile, Burnell moves into the bridesmaid position. Sets his sights on the 87 of Durkas. They dive into turns 3 and 4. Burnell looking for racing room in the Steve's Autobody number 1 machine. Wheels at Monte Carlo out of turn 4 on the back bumper of that Oldsmobile-bodied 87 of Durkas. Into 1 and 2, Durkas continues. They're tracking that automobile through the turns. Meanwhile, Griffith still seesawing in the back of this pack in the 71 as Rick Sheeler pulls to the low side of him. The battle for the lead. Diving down low is Burnell. He and Durkas right together. Oh, you can't put a sheet of notebook paper between those automobiles as they fight for the lead position down into turns 1 and 2. And it's Burnell with the low line making it work. He pulls on. up to the point position, down the back straight. Turkus falls off a car length and a half. Harry Flowers, meanwhile, and the Dale Earnhardt lookalike number 3 machine will have to contend with the Rhodes and Auto Wrecking 32 at George Nicola, who's moved up to 4th. Nicola trying to work the low side on Harry Flowers' automobile. Cannot do it. Oh, look at Turkus burning that right rear treaded tire. These cars running on street legal treaded tires. And Turkus lights up that right rear, and that'll slow him off the pace. Meanwhile, Nicola fights to the low side of Harry Flowers in a battle for 3rd. Here comes Rick Sheeler. Sheeler to move up in this battle. 3, now making 4 cars with Griffith. Throw a blanket over him in a battle for 3rd as they work into turns 1 and 2. 8 laps the distance we go in this division for the qualifying heats. Rick Sheeler looking strong in a Marcy's Hair Salon 74. Works to the low side of Harry Flowers, number 3 machine. In that struggle for 4th place. 2 laps to go for your lead automobile, Brunel. And Sheeler has moved up to 4th place position. Sets his sights on the 32 of George Nicola. They work into turns 1 and 2. Butch Turkus continues dirt tracking the automobile down the back straight. And here comes Sheeler. He's setting up in a battle for 3rd. Sheeler dives to the low side of Nicola. Nicola sees him in the rearview mirror, begins to easily come down low and close the door. The white flag, 1 lap remaining for Brunel. Here comes this struggle for 3rd place position. Working into turns 1 and 2. Rick Sheeler closed up to the back bumper, trying to autograph the 32 of Nicola. In the struggle for the 3rd place spot, once again tries the low side. They dive into turns 3 and 4. It's a struggle for 3rd. Nicola tries to close the door. He's still up high. Sheeler muscling through. Brunel will take the checker. 2nd goes to Turkus. Here's the struggle for 3rd down the front straight. Nicola up high. Sheeler down low. Oh, I don't know. How many people think Nicola got 3rd in the 32? Who thinks Sheeler did it? Rick Sheeler got it by less than 3 inches, folks, at the flag stand behind the wheel of the Shaw screen printing. Subdo tightens up in turn 4, looking to get a clean start. Here we go. Watch it down the front straight. Green's out. We're up to speed and racing. And the 1 and 2. Jimmy Bickerstaff holds on to the lead. They're checking the car. Tim Stump, high, wide, handsome with a 65 Chevelle. Now the rookie James Friedline to the low side of the other rookie. Stump tries to make the move. Here comes the double L, Larry Lee Heminger. Oh, some door knocking, and how do you do? Behind you is the 75 of Friedline on the 24 of Bickerstaff. In the turns 1 and 2. Up high is Stump. Down low is Heminger. They've got a serpentine of metal out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Heminger looking for racing room between 2 automobiles. Cannot make the move. Stump continues high, wide, and handsome. The Baron Trucking 28 is Sean Beam looking for racing room. The Somerset, Pennsylvania Path decides to go to the low side of Stump's automobile. On the front straightaway continues to be a Dickey Electric 24. Of Mineral Ridge, Ohio's Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. He dirt tracks the automobile. My goodness, James Friedline right there continues knocking on that door. The double L of Heminger. The 76 machine tries the low side on Heminger's automobile. Heminger says no, sir, and politely closes the door in turn 3. Continues looking to the low side of the Dickey Electric 24. Bickerstaff cannot make the move. Now he commits to the high side in the 75. Then opens up the low line for Larry Lee Heminger. All of a sudden, Friedline comes down the low side. Here comes the bullet, Sean Bean. All Ford fans down the back straightaway. Friedline slams the door on him. Bean goes up high, falls back a pace, back to 4th. Here comes Stump down low. We work with a blanket with the top 5 automobiles. Cross flags. 4 laps down, 4 remaining. It continues to be Bickerstaff. He has all kinds of pressure behind him. Friedline continues leaning on the back bumper. Beam's right there. We might have hooked. We've hooked the bumpers. Oh, look out, race fans. And it's kissing cousins on the back straight. Woo, we're not done yet. My, oh my, you saw it coming. Friedline and on the go button. He does. And we're back to green and racing. Up through the gears, Tim Stump holds on to 3rd, and Mitzi Shawless is 4th. Jimmy Bickerstaff from up back through the field. Watch him as he tries to close in on this battle. Heminger down the back straightaway, and the North Star Equipment 76 holds on by 2.5 car lengths over Sean Beam and the Baron Trucking 1974 Ford Torino Elite. The Somerset, Pennsylvania driver, they call him the Bullet, gets crossed up and continues green flag racing. Smokes the right rear tire on that automobile in his effort to try to close in on Heminger. Heminger just up high out of turn 2, able to hold that outside line though, and continues by 4 car lengths over Beam. Out of turn 4, Heminger continues on that point position. 2 laps to go, and Sean Beam begins to reel him in into turns 1 and 2. Tim Stump looking impressive, and the 65 Chevelle holds on to a strong 3rd place position. Beam now begins to close the gap on Hemminger's automobile. It's 3, now 2, now 1.5 car lengths in turn 3 and 4. This time around, Beam high, wide, and handsome, but Hemminger holds on to lead. The white flag, 1 lap remaining. We go into turns 1 and 2. Sean Beam looking for racing room. It's the Monte Carlo machine of Larry out in front. Here comes the Florida Beam, closing up within a half a car length. They dive into turns 3 and 4. Beam with a half a lap remaining, closes up to the Mac bumper. Hemminger holds the groove. Beam dirt tracks the car, high, wide, and handsome, cannot do it. And Larry Lee hangs on for the checker. Over Sean Beam, a distant third, goes to Tim Stump. Fourth will go to Mitzi Schaller. And fifth will go to Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. The Martinelli Service number 63. Outside of him in the Cobra Resources 36 machine from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania, Tiger Tom Erickson. And the Ed Nicholson and Son Lumber on the Bobby Henry backup Camaro body Hodge transmission machine. Starter Ron Brutt looks over. Domenico's pace car into the pits. The field looks good. Out of turn 4, we get the green. We're up to speed and racing. Coming out of turns 1 and 2, it's a drag race in the battle for the lead. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness, 3 wide to back, straight away. Unbelievable, open up the refrigerator and get the mayonnaise. Rick Miller dive bombing down low in a battle with Mariotti, holding on to bridesmaid spot. And Glenn Gold takes off with the lead. In the turns 1 and 2, Miller and Audi playing nose to tail, door knocking out there. Audi now tries the low side on Miller's automobile, cannot make the move. Here comes Charging Charlie Cragen on the outside of the racing surface. Into the pits comes Martrey in the 17. And the Twin County Chevrolet is 42 of Cragen on the move, goes to the outside of Kessler's 91 down the back straight. Oh, he's up into the wall, race fans. Cragen leaves a tire autograph on the outside retaining wall, continues battling in a 4th place position, and takes the spot from Kessler. In the turns 1 and 2, Rick Miller holds on to 2nd place. Glenn Gold stretching out the lead by 8 car lengths over Miller's automobile. Cragen is the man on the move. Now Miller begins to separate himself from Audi's 75 machine. The battle is for 2nd spot, down the back straightaway. The Henschel & Sons Automotive Warehouse, 19 of Miller, holding on to it now. Kessler in the middle of the pack, falls back 1 more position. The Martinelli Service, Melton, tired 63 of Bob Sibbel, has moved up to the 5th place spot. Rick Miller holding on to 2nd, trying to close in on Glenn Gold, cannot accomplish that task. Meanwhile, Cragen continues working the low side of Audie's mobile. Well, Barry Audie's automobile. Place is a good one. Charlie Cragen tries the low side on Barry Audi, cannot make the move. Continuing out of turn 4, here comes Cragen to the low side of Audi's automobile. They struggle for the 3rd place position in turns 1 and 2. And Charging Cragen trying to make the move. The Storystown Auto Record 75 of Audi denies him the opportunity. They work into turns 3 and 4. Cragen still apprising the back bumper of the 75 Audi, looking to set a groove up for a pass on the front straightaway. And that's struggle for 3rd. All myself is the 5th place position is Bob Sibbel in the Martinelli Service 63. 6th place campaigner, the 36th, Tom Erickson, has the 24 of Kennedy behind his back bumper, really pushing that automobile along with Bobby Henry. Glenn Gold continues high with the lead. Rick Miller now a distant 2nd. Cragen trying to close up to the back bumper. Audi's automobile cannot do it. On the back straight, Rick Miller continues holding on to 2nd. Here comes Cragen, he dives under Audie's automobile, and Charging Charlie Cragen trying to steal away 3rd is able. Oh, we've got a car out of shape. Out of turn 4, look out, race fans. The yellow comes out for, we are green and racing. Let's see what happens. Now we go back to the last completed green lap. That's why Cragen has been relegated back to 4th. Here we go out of 4, and Miller's right there with Gold. To the low side goes Cragen. Down into turns 1 and 2. Rick Miller trying to pressure Gold. Cragen gets through for 3rd. And here comes Bob Sibbel, race fans. He tries the low side on Audi's automobile. Rick Miller is close up to the back bumper of Glenn Galt. Let's see if Galt gets stronger as we exit out of turn 4. Meanwhile, Cragen begins to close in on these automobiles. And look at this, Miller trying to apply the pressure to Galt. That car pushes a bit, and Hunchel and Sons Automotive Warehouse 19 fades up high. Cragen closes right in on his back bumper. Bob Sybil has come to life in this event. He moves up to the 4th place spot. Here comes Cragen. Cragen trying to low side on Miller's automobile. They're very close together in turn 2, but Cragen sticks down low in the Twin County Chevrolet deal. 42, fighting for second, and he moves into the 2nd place spot. Sets his sights on Glenn Galt. Holding on to the lead, charging Charlie Cragen, beginning to close in on him. Bob Sybil, a man on the move, and the Martinelli Service 63. They work down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Glenn Galt able to hold a distance of about 3 car lengths over Cragen. Into 1 and 2, Galt works that middle groove, perhaps saving the tires or pushing, hard to say. Meanwhile, Cragen trying to apply the pressure to him. Bob Sybil conversely applies the pressure to Rick Miller in the battle for 3rd place. Out of turn 4, it continues to be Galt working that middle groove. Into 1 and 2, Glenn Galt works the high side. Cragen works low, but Galt has the RPMs coming off the turn and stays ahead of Cragen's automobile. Out of turn 4, Cragen grooves to the low side, but Galt's right there and they're able to hold off the challenge. As they work into turns 1 and 2. Charging Charlie Cragen out to the low side of Glenn Galt as they go out of turn 2, and Galt denies him the opportunity. It's a battle royale on this AC Delco 50-lap feature for the Gatlings late model in this struggle for the lead. Out of 4, Galt harks the high side. Cragen tries the low line on him. Galt trying to close the door. In turns 1 and 2, Cragen almost loses the automobile. Does a beautiful job of straightening it up, but it gives Galt the opportunity to pull away by some 3 car lengths. Glenn Galt holding his own out there, watching Cragen getting a little squirrely, holds on to the lead. Working down the back straightaway, charging Charlie Cragen, pressuring Glenn Galt a few laps ago. Just getting the rear end loose, has to settle down and perhaps cool those tires off and set up for another challenge. Glenn Galt continues his smooth pace. Bob Sybil, meanwhile, as we approach the halfway point in this event, seems to get stronger and stronger. Cragen tries the low side on Galt again. Galt denies him the opportunity, race fans. In the 3 and 4, Glenn Galt, with all his years of experience on the pavement, continues working the middle groove. Cragen tries the low side, cannot do it. Oh, we have a spin in turn 3. In turn 3, Chuck Kissler loses the automobile, and it brings out the yellow. We'll find out. The green comes out, and we're up to speed in racing. Out of turn 4, Galt holds them down the front straightaway. Glenn Galt works that outside groove once again to his liking. Cragen working the low line, and Galt pulls him by a car length and a half down the back straightaway. Rick Miller comes to life once again. Galt fades up high. Here comes Cragen down low. Cannot get him. Into 1 and 2, Glenn Galt still hanging on to the lead. Cragen knocking on the door. Look at Bob Sybil, race fans. Bob Sybil, a man on the move. And the Martinelli Service 63, the crafty veteran from Massillon, Ohio, trying to low side on Connorsville, Pennsylvania's Rick Miller in a struggle for the 3rd place spot. Charging Charlie Cragen to the low side on Glenn Galt out of turn 2. Galt denies him the opportunity down the back straightaway, race fans. In the 3 and 4, 2 supreme battles out there. 1 for the lead and 1 for 3rd. Sybil tries the low line on Rick Miller's automobile in that battle for 3rd place position. Here comes Cragen to the low side on Glenn Galt. Galt slams it on him once again with the high side move. Holds off Cragen's effort. Glenn Galt doing a masterful job of working the middle of this racing surface, holding off the charging one, Charlie Cragen. A great battle goes on for 4th place position, but all eyes are fixated on the top 4 spots. Look at this. Tom Erickson makes the move on the 75 of Barry Oddie, and Tom Erickson moves up to the 5th place position. He brings Bobby Henry right with him. Halfway in this event, we are working lap 25 of the AC Delco 50-lap feature. Cragen tries the low side and Galt once again denies him the opportunity. Charge and Charlie Cragen still grooming the low side, but plenty of laps left in this event. Cragen tries low on Galt again. Galt works that outside groove down the back straightaway. It's a drag race for the lead. Here we go into turn 3 and 4. Cragen breaks through and takes some of the point position. Gold right there in second. Will he try? Here comes Gold, race fans. We've got a bad crash in 3 and 4. With all this action going on, hard contact with Vince Rendisi's automobile. I never saw the incident, race fans. Rick Boyer's car involved. Lonnie Vaughn actually spinning after this incident took place. Here we go. It's up to go. Once he presses the go button, and we're back to racing in this AC Delco 50-lap event. Here we go. The green's out, and we are up to speed and racing. Into 1 and 2. Down low goes Cragen. Way up high goes Gold. Here comes Bob Sibilla. Sibilla knocks on the door on the low side of the 19th. Henschel & Sons Automotive Warehouse of Rick Miller. Miller's 19th stays in third place position. Gold continues holding on to the lead on lap 26. On the back straight, Sibilla continues knocking on the door. Miller's automobile. Meanwhile, Cragen begins to apply pressure to go. Here comes Tom Erickson. Erickson makes it a 5-car freight train battle for the lead. And at 1 and 2, Cragen tries the low side on Gold again. Gold denies him the opportunity. Down the back straightaway. Now Rick Miller begins to close in on this battle. And he's bringing Sibilla right with him. We've got a blanket on the top 4 automobiles as they fight for those positions. Chuck Kennedy now, the 77 of Bobby Henry, slows off the pace. Down the front straightaway, Henry off the pace. Trying to limp that automobile back into the pits is Bobby Henry, and it looks like we may get a caution. Bobby Henry not able to continue with that automobile, and the yellow comes out. Position. It's up to Gold to restart this event. Henry's crew, his car remains in the infield. Going to go a lap down. Here he comes out of the pits, and Gold gets on it. Out of 4, the green's on. We're up to speed and racing. Here comes Cragen, but Gold holds him off. Glenn Gold working the low side line on Cragen, able to hold him off down the back straightaway. The American Title Trust 32 stretches lap by car lane over Cragen's automobile. Working through turns 3 and 4. Rick Miller holding on to third, starts to fall off the pace momentarily, and Bob Sibilla hangs on to his back bumper. They work into turns 1 and 2. Cragen tries the low side. Gold denies him the opportunity and holds on to that lead down the back straightaway on lap 30. 20 laps remaining. Bobby Henry continues off the pace in turn 1. Will soon go a lap down in this event. Meanwhile, Cragen tries the low side once again. They work into 1 and 2. Gold slams the door, denies Cragen the opportunity. And the crafty veteran from Hubbard, Ohio, able to hold on to the point position. And he now has Chuck Kennedy joining in. We have a multicolored mechanical Caterpillar out of turn 4 in this battle for the lead. In the 1 and 2, Gold works the middle line. Cragen trying to work on him, cannot make the move. Rick Miller hanging on to third. Sibilla looking for racing room on Miller's automobile. Henschel & Sons Automotive Warehouse 19 hanging on to third. Sees the Martinelli Service 63 of Bob Sibilla trying to groom the low side on his racer. Working into turns 1 and 2. Cragen tries the low side on Gold again. Gold denies him the opportunity down the back straightaway. The AC Delco 50-lap affair for the Gatling's late model. And Cragen's been knocking on the door of Glenn Gold all race long. After getting by traffic on lap 13 to apply the pressure to Gold's automobile. And the lead once, but relegated back to second because of a restart. Now he begins to apply the pressure. Dives down in turn 3. Here comes Cragen. Gold right there. Look out, race fans. Oh, they muscle together out of 4. Unbelievable. We keep racing. Cragen muscles through. Charging Charlie Cragen and Glenn Gold trading paint, and now Cragen gets squarely. Here comes Gold, and Gold takes his turn. Look at this one, race fans. And Cragen denies him the opportunity. Glenn Gold trying to sneak right back on Cragen's automobile. Glenn Gold working a low side. It's his turn to intimidate. Battle royale for the top positions. Cragen has it, but Gold is not letting him run away with it. Meanwhile, Miller and Sibilla content with watching this battle in the point position. Glenn Gold still trying to groom the low side on Cragen. Has come alive on the back bumper of the Twin County Chevrolet. It was 42 machine. Rick Miller tries the low side on Gold. Gold denies him the opportunity. On the back straight, Gold closes again on Cragen. Time running out. 13 laps remaining in this AC Delco. 50-lap feature for the Gatling's late models. Out of turn 4, it's still Cragen. We work into 1 and 2. Cragen now separates himself by a car length and a half on Glenn Gold. They work down the back straightaway though. Cragen not running away with it. Galt staying right with him. Galt begins to tighten up in the turn. Closing in. Here comes Glenn Galt. Race fans to the low side of Cragen. Cragen denies that opportunity. They work into turns 1 and 2. Rick Miller now begins to set in for this strike. 50 laps, and now Galt tries the low side on Cragen. They work into turns 3 and 4, and Cragen denies him the opportunity. What a struggle we have by these two hot shoes. And a Gatling late model. Galt tries the low side again. Cragen with the RPMs turned up. Denies Galt the opportunity. We work into turns 1 and 2. Cragen fades up high. Glenn Galt hooked to the low side. Tries the low line on Cragen again. Cragen denies him the opportunity. 10 laps remaining in this event. Glenn Galt glued to the back bumper. Cragen, unbelievable down the front straightaway. Glenn Galt turning up the wick on American Title Trust 32. Works the low side on Charlie Cragen. Down the back straightaway. Cragen on that high line. Able to close the door on Galt once again. Rick Miller watching this action unfold in front of him. Glenn Galt still pressuring Cragen for the lead. Working into turns 1 and 2. Galt just up high momentarily. Now does he sit up to make a low side move? Cragen just up high. But Galt made able to close the gap on lap 42. Into turns 3 and 4. Glenn Galt almost taking that lead back from Cragen. Cragen holding on to it with the laps winding down. Into 1 and 2. Glenn Galt applying the pressure. Now begins to fall off a couple car lanes. Cragen down the back straightaway, separating himself over Galt's automobile. Glenn Galt begins to close up in turns 3 and 4 once again. Rick Miller holds on to that strong third. Bob Sibler, who was in contention, the battle with Miller for third, has fallen back to a comfortable 4th place position, but is no longer a threat in this event. This time around, there'll be 5 laps remaining in this AC Delco 50-lap event for charging Charlie Cragen. Glenn Galt continues to try to close up on him. They work into turns 1 and 2. They work into turns 3 and 4. Cragen by 3 car lengths. Galt begins to close a bit out of turn 4. Rick Miller now closing up to the back bumper of Glenn Galt. Into turns 3 and 4. Cragen still by 3 car lengths over Glenn Galt. Time is running out for Galt as he tries to close in on Cragen. Rick Miller meanwhile is closing. Meanwhile Cragen, and look at this! Rick Miller applies the pressure to go down the back straightaway. The battle now is for 2nd place position. Glenn Galt trying to hold off Rick Miller. On the front straightaway, 2 laps remaining for Cragen. They work down into turns 1 and 2. Galt a distant second now as he's trying to hold off Rick Miller's automobile. They work through turns 3 and 4. Glenn Galt trying to hold off the Connellsville, Pennsylvania pilot Rick Miller. Cragen with the white flag, 1 lap remaining. Galt continues this battle for a second with Rick Miller. And Bob Sibler trying to close in. Charging Charlie Cragen has things going his way down the back straight. Glenn Galt riding in second with Rick Miller trying to threaten him. They'll come around out of turn 4. Here we go in the AC Delco 50-lap feature event. Goes the charging Charlie Cragen. Second goes to Glenn Galt. Rick Miller third. Bob Sibler fourth. And Tom Erickson fifth. Long and Cragen with the pass occurring on lap 35 to take the lead and hold on to the victory. And the Doc Scanlon-owned Twin County Chevrolet dealer, Casa Fire Equipment, Cooney Coal Machine, be heading into victory lane in this AC Delco 50-lap feature event. This will be 6 wins out of 11 events for him in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Northeast region. When he gets out, he can hear you now. Nice round of applause for Hopewell, Pennsylvania's charging Charlie Cragen. Glenn Galt hanging on for a strong 2nd place performance and holding off the pressures of Rick Miller coming on at the end of the event. Bob Sibler working up to an outstanding 4th place spot. And how about Tom Erickson moving up to round out the top 5 into victory lane. Our folks from AC Delco presenting that beautiful trophy to Cragen, as well as Al Primus from Gatling's Auto Stores will be joining in this celebration. And momentarily we'll be going down to Joe Rolick to get Mr. Cragen's impressions of this event. Kerry Ritchie, Miss Motordrome Speedway, also joining in victory lane celebration with Mr. Cragen.
Mike, for the fans that want to know, Bobby Henry had the muffler fall off of his car this week. I was talking to Bobby. Stola Marlin's team, they have Maxwell House is sponsoring something where they're going to put a lucky charm in Stola Marlin's car for every race, trying to get him the first win. And Bobby thought that was kind of a good idea. So if any of the kids or anything here have some lucky charm they want to bring, Bobby will put it in the car next week. He's going to try to change his luck in the worst way.
His car looked like a pawn shop inside next week, Joe.
He'll drop out of the race because there's too much rattling around in there.
Cragen continues celebrating in Victory Lane with the Biter Brother crew and capturing the moment of this AC Delco 50-lap event for the gentleman they call the Charging One. Cooney Cole, Precious Metals, Valley Beverage, Alarm Barn, Shop and Save, Frank's Used Cars, Sickens Onzo Finish, Willie Cameron, of course Scanlon Clinic, Casa Power Equipment, and Twin County Chevrolet dealers, all part of the effort of this team for 1992. Don't go away, race fans. Plenty of AC Delco feature race action coming up with the Pepsi Pro Stocks, Tony's Light Street Stocks, and Pure Stocks. Joe, take her away.
Thanks, Mike. Looked like a Winston Cup race down here. Everybody's handing out hats. Put this hat on for that picture. Oh, no, one more picture, too.
Don't forget, race fans, while we finish up in Victory Lane, tomorrow night at Jennerstown, gates open at 4, late model time trials at 6:30, racing at 7, $2 gets you into their 25th anniversary celebration. Any seat in the house, $2. Bring the whole neighborhood. Fireworks, clowns, mime circus, jugglers, maybe even a kitchen sink. Lots of surprises and gifts and door prizes as they celebrate the 25th anniversaries at Jennerstown. They're located at Route 30s and 985, just 10 miles east of Ligonier, or 8 miles north of the Somerset Turnpike exit number 10. Also, Clearfield Mountain Speedway continues running on Sundays with the gates opening 6. You can call them at 814-76-TRACK, T-R-A-C-K. That's Clearfield Mountain Speedway with their 3-division pavement program. We'll try this again. Joseph?
Charlie, over here. Geez, Victory Lane's getting to be a familiar place for you, huh?
Oh, that's all right. We get used to it.
Past Glen Gull with about 17 laps to go. Usually when you get by a car, they kind of run away, but that didn't happen tonight.
No, he was running awful good, too.
Looks like he heated up his tires. That's what caused him to slow down a bit, but he was really giving you a run for your money.
Yeah, he was running real good.
It's you're leading the Winston Racing Series points now. I know it's still early in the season, but is that starting to play in your mind?
Oh, yeah, that's always on our mind. Hey, one's as good now as it is at the end of the year, we feel.
Okay, thank you. Charging Charlie Cragen.
To him and the pizza, JW Industry. Here we go. And, oh, this is trouble. A yellow comes out. Point, here we go. Oh, now Arsenberg has a problem, and oh, look at this. Holy smokes, the yellow comes out again. What happens? Start a run, but look, some, oh, look at this, folks. Easy does it. All right, I think we're going to get green this time. It's on photo. We're up to speed in racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Give Pat with the lead, and look at the pressure behind his back bumper. Here comes Bob Cossel to the low side. The RCS Racing Engines Cossel Racing Center's 50 in the lead. Oh, Bradley Cole, look out! A beautiful job of hanging on the automobile, but he slows off the pace. Down the front straightaway with 3 wide. A sandwich job. Mabel, open the refrigerator door and get out the mayonnaise. We continue racing. My, oh my, intense battle. Now Cole, no worse for wear out there, is able to pick up the pace, gets by Arsenberger, and begins charging up through the field. Field spreads out, but I'm sure you'll be watching Dunbar and Cole begin to close up on the back bumper of the 70 pack. And wasting no time is Jeff Dunbar. Dunbar right on the back bumper. Get Pat. Bradley Cole trying to close up as well. And here comes Dunbar. He dives to the low side. Pat denies him the opportunity in turns 3 and 4. Here comes Dunbar, tries the low side. Pat denies an opportunity. Look at Cole. Bradley Cole from that miscue all the way back up into contention. Pat goes up high and dive bombs down low and holds off to 0-7 to Jeff Dunbar. Now Cole says, I'm going to apply the pressure. They work into turns 1 and 2. Up high goes Dunbar. Bradley Cole goes right through. Oh, how about that move, race fans? Here comes Bob Eisenberger. And it looks like Dunbar may have problems. Dunbar holds off Eisenberger's machine. Now Bradley Cole right up to the back bumper of Good Pat once again. This Cole not to be intimidated. Works the low side of Good Pat. And wastes no time going through for a second. Here comes Dunbar trying to do the same. And Dunbar gets through. Yeah, Eisenberger trying to get through, but Good Pat denies him the opportunity. It becomes a cat and mouse game. Can Bradley Cole close the gap on Bob Costle's automobile? We'll get the clock on it and see if he's doing that or not. Jeff Dunbar out there as well. Right now, the distance between your leader, Costle, and Cole is 2.7 seconds. 2.7 seconds separating lead position from second of Costle and Cole respectively. Trying to get another time on this. Bob Costle hooked up and flying. Bradley Cole is now whittling that lead down by about 1/10 of a second a lap, but he's running out of time in this event. 9 laps down in this AC Delco 20-lap feature event for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. And Bob Costle has himself distance over Bradley Cole's real close to the outside retaining wall and controls the automobile. Costle down the back straightaway, maintains a 2.69 margin over Cole. Bradley Cole is not closing the gap. Cross flags, 10 laps down, 10 remaining. And it looks like Bob Costle really has this Oldsmobile Port City chassis RCS racing engine machine dialed in. He continues holding the gap over both Cole and Dunbar. Cole with Jeff Dunbar trying to close up on his back bumper. Well off the pace is Gary Wilchot in the Lucas machine, Caddyshack number 10. He goes a lap down as second and third place machines pass him. Right now, Bradley Cole would love the opportunity of the yellow flag. He's able to keep the pace that Costle has on this speedway. Conversely, not able to close the distance between himself and Bob Costle. Jeff Dunbar working in third, still not able to close up that gap between himself and Bradley Cole as they work down the front straight. Lap 14, time is running out in this AC Delco event for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. On the front straightaway, it is all Bob Scott Costle III as Bradley Cole holds on to a distant second. And now Jeff Dunbar begins to reel in the back bumper Cole's automobile. On the back straightaway, Jeff Dunbar trying to close in a struggle for second with 5 laps remaining. Costle has everything going his way. But Brad Cole finds himself soon to be holding off the pressures of Jeff Dunbar as they work into turns 1 and 2. Turns 3 and 4, time is running out for Brad Cole. And he's way up high to the outside retaining wall again, and Jeff Dunbar begins to pressure him. They work into turns 1 and 2, the battle is for second. Dunbar and Mark's Auto Bodies, VJ's Express machine, pressuring the back bumper of Bradley Cole to come up on the lap traffic at Gary Wilchot. It's all Bob Scott Costle III with the white flag. Here comes Dunbar on the low side, and Cole cannot make the move. Into turns 1 and 2, Bradley Cole hangs on to the bridesmaid position. Jeff Dunbar tries the low side on him, cannot do it. Down the back straightaway, Dunbar right on the back bumper of Cole. Costle will win this event. Here's the battle for second in turns 3 and 4. Here comes Costle, he goes into the checker. Dunbar cannot make the move. Bradley Cole hangs on to second. A distant third will go to Bob Eisenberger. Give Pat. finishing in 5th. Weissenberger 4th. The victory lane for the gentleman from Connersville, Pennsylvania, 27-year-old self-employed pilot. When he gets out of the car, we'll give him a nice round of applause. He is your defending track champion in this division, the only track champion we've had in this division since we debuted it 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, that is. He can hear you now. Nice round of applause for Bob Sprout-Kossel III, the winner of the AC Delco 20-lap feature for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. He'll pick up that beautiful trophy in victory lane from the folks of AC Delco and Gatling's Auto Stores, taking the victory.
We figured out the name. It's Clayton R. Banton. You can come to, where are we going to? To the office. To the office to get your jacket. Gee, Mike, with all the hat switching, I'm starting to feel like Bill Broderick.
Race fans, don't forget to watch Chase to the Checker featuring the NASCAR Winston Racing Series for Jennerstown Speedway every week on KBL and WJAC TV. Saturdays at 11:30 on WJAC TV, Channel 6 in Johnstown, and on KBL Wednesday nights at 10:30 or after the Power Game, and 8 o'clock Thursdays on KBL or after the Power Game. That's Chase to the Checkered, featuring the NASCAR Winston Racing Series from Jennerstown Speedway. Down to Joe Wolick.
Thanks, Mike. Sprout, you're limping around here. What'd you do?
Well, I really don't know what we did there. We just hurt my foot, and I've had problems all week with it, and it hasn't got better, but when you're out there, pain kind of goes away, so, you know.
Especially when you're leading.
Yeah, especially when you're leading.
If you was running last, it'd probably hurt a whole lot.
You'd be thinking about it more. I'd like to thank my pit crew and my sponsors, Bob Mongell Car Care and RCS Racing Engines, that's worked with me to get me here, and I appreciate all they've done, and I'd just like to give them a big thanks.
Last week you had a little bit of bad luck with the new motor. This week it put you in victory lane.
Yeah, one thing about him, he's working with me, and we'll get it together.
Okay, thank you. Bob Sprout-Kossel.
Bomb 25, Ron Cole. 72, Mike Heminger. The 8 is Brett Boyer. 30, Jack Satosky. 75, Brian Audie. 05, Danny Barron. 57, Marty Edwards. 10, Bill Schneider. Here we go. Field tightens up. They look good. The green's out. We're up to speed in racing. Oh, 3 wide on the front straight. Look at Heminger coming through. We're still 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. A floodgate down the back straightaway. Here comes a 25 call. Somebody notify New Stanton. We're going into the turns 3 and 4. It's Angelica with the lead, followed by Komarinsky and the 72 of Mike Heminger way up high wide. Handsome as Ron Colo down the back straight. He makes the move on the 22. Tony Ball in about a 4th place position. Finds himself closing up to the back bumper. Dietrich's 88 machine. Oh, Mike Heminger really begins to apply the pressure. Komarinsky's rocking neutraling. Rolling Rock 33 machine. Conversely, Komarinsky, the Greensburg, Pennsylvania 5, trying to do the same. To Angelico. Here comes Cole. Cole hooked up high, wide, Hanson to the outside of Dietrich's 88. Exiting out of turn 4 in this battle for the 4th place position. Off the pace is a 33 Komarinsky. John Komarinsky. And the Salty Dog Grand Prix 33 is falling off the pace. And look at this battle now for third down the back straight. We have a flock of automobiles packed up in 3 and 4 for the struggle for third. Down to the low side, Dietrich comes trying to make this move on Komarinsky. Ron Cole in the rally, truck and trailer. 25 still working the high side of the racing service. Angelico on the point position, followed by the 72 of Heminger, 2 Pierce Stock graduates in the rookie season. Studies like straight stock looking at battle, turn 3. Jack Satoski trying to make a 3 wide, deny the opportunity. Working the front straight, oh, look out, and oh, almost near disaster in the battle for the lead. And the 72 of Heminger gets through. And everybody else getting by Dietrich. John Komarinsky now starts to pick up a pace again. The 72 of Mike Heminger getting through for the lead after some wild skirmish action in turn 1. And now, State College, Pennsylvania's Ron Cole breaks through for third. He brings Jack Satoski right with him. With the lead, it's Mike Heminger. And we've got lap traffic up ahead. Look what's Heminger going to do with it. Oh, he's stuck behind Nick Durant's. Oh, he got them all stacked up. Oh, look at Ron Cole. Oh, race fans. Oh, my goodness, it's a labyrinth of... You call it. It's too hard for me to call it. But, oh, my. Mike Heminger with nowhere to go. And everybody closing up on his back bumper in turns 1 and 2. A battle royale for the lead now. Kiffer in the way with the 42. What's Heminger going to do with it? He goes to the outside just in time. Still can't get around Kiffer's 42 machine. Here comes Ron Cole up to the field. He goes to the low side of the 55. Angelico, and Heminger still can't get around. Lap traffic. Mike Heminger having his problems threading the needle through lap traffic, and it allows Angelico to close up on him. Here comes Brian Otte knocking on the door of Satoski's car. They almost get together down the back straight. Oh, they have a spinning 4 right in front of the leaders. Oh, my. Oh, my. Easy. Oh. But he's like 3 stocks. It's up to Heminger once he trumps on it. He does. Green's out. We're racing. Oh, in the middle of the pack, lap traffic, all kinds of havoc going on there. Down the back straightaway, here comes Ron Cole diving to the low side of Angelico. Cannot make the move in turns 3 and 4. Cole still looking at that low line out of turn 4. Side by side, wheel to wheel, they dive into 1 and 2, and Ron Cole breaks through for the bridesmaid position. Here comes Brian Otte. He's a man on the move. Diving to the low side of the 30 of Satoski. He gets through for the 4th place spot. Working on lap 11 of this AC Delco sponsored event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. And now Mike Heminger has his hands full. Ron Cole closing up to his back bumper. They hit into turns 3 and 4. Cole begins to reel a bit. Oh, we have problems in the back straight. Look at this, the suspension, and it looks like the whole left front suspension. Oh my, Jim Petrie's come apart. He can't even steer that thing anymore as it wobbles down the back straight. Heminger, once he presses on the throttle, oh, we are glued together there in turn 3. Green comes out, we're up to speed in racing, and Cole is right to the back bumper, and he dives to the low side on Heminger into turn 1. Ron Cole makes the move to the low side, almost into the grass, looking like a weed whacker, but cannot make the move. Now we're side by side, wheel to wheel, lug nut to lug nut, wheel to wheel, on a battle for the lead, and Cole trying to muscle his way through on lap 11, out of turn 4, Ron Cole into the lead. Oh, look at this, out of turn 2, Cole up high, but Heminger not able to take advantage of it. Now Brian Otte makes his move into third. Turns 3 and 4, Otte moves into the 3rd place spot. Ron Cole hooked up and flying. Mike Heminger trying to hang on to... Mike Heminger trying to close in on Ron Cole, kind of a carbon copy of what we saw. Oh, we got him spin in turn 3. Look out! Oh, we're still not done. What a beautiful job Barron did of avoiding the 66 of Mignon. You could hear the spin by Tony Morrow and racing. Ron Cole on the restart. Let's see what he does with it. Out of turn 4. We are up to speed and racing. Down into 1 and 2, and now Brian Audie begins the pressure of the 72 of Mike Heminger. Here comes Audie. Audie goes to the left side of Heminger's automobile, and he makes the pass down to, not quite yet. There he breaks some daylight between himself and Heminger's automobile, moves into the second place spot. It's all Ron Cole. Let's see if Audie can close up on his automobile. And Brian Audie may be the fastest racer on the track at this point in this AC Delco. 20-lap circuit affair for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. Brian Audie trying desperately to close the gap on Cole's automobile. They work down the long back straightaway. Audie now all of a sudden finds the error out of that automobile, so to speak, as they've just lost the effort of trying to pull in Cole. And now he has to fight off the 72 of Mike Heminger. An interesting battle coming down the front straightaway. Lap traffic here in their own personal battle. 3 cars strong. 3 cars into turns 1 and 2. And here comes the lead automobiles. Nick DeRatz in the 7, Bill Schneider in the 10, the 32 of Dave Miller, taking their time out there in their own personal battle. And Ron Cole's coming up on all this action. Well, Schneider goes to the left side of Nick DeRatz and gets by, and here comes Miller to do the same. Ron Cole now looking for racing room. Oh my, look out, we have a spin. Oh, look out! Oh my! Whew. Boy, a lot of crunching and banging out there. Nothing really that serious, but some great maneuvers by drivers to avoid Boyer's automobile. He got crossed up and a chain reaction began. Is up to Cole. Now he has Brian Audie on his tail. Let's see what happens. Green's out. We're racing. Into 1 and 2. Cole tries to hang on to the lead, stretch it out over Audie's automobile by 2 car lengths down the back straightaway. The Ron Beckner logging. North Star Equipment, Rose Lover 75 Audie. That Monte Carlo trying to close up to Cole's automobile. Cannot make the move. Mike Heminger hangs on to the back bumper. Audie's car. Into 1 and 2. Now the battle shapes up for the bridesmaid spot. Mike Heminger continues trying to close in on Audie's automobile. The white flag, 1 lap remaining for Cole. And he has command of this event. He's looking for his 2nd career feature win in motorsports. He captured his initial one right here at MOTORDROME a few weeks ago. Through turns 3 and 4, here comes Ron Cole. He'll pick up the check on the battle for a 2nd. It will be Brian Audie over Mike Heminger. 4th goes to Alan Angelico Jr. and Jack Sadowski rounds out the top 5. Well, you know, a multi-millionaire will tell you the first with the AC Delco 20-lap feature fair. Ron will exit out of the car shortly. And when he does, we'll give him a round of applause. All the way from State College, Pennsylvania. That is a haul. Down here to MOTORDROME to run with us weekly. Been faithful to the pavement. He can hear you now. Nice round of applause for Ron Cole from State College, winning the AC Delco 20-lap feature event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. And our friends from AC Delco will be joining in to present him the trophy. turn it down to Joe Rolick to get Ron's impression of this AC Delco affair. Well, the whole crew is going to join in now.
Talk to John Komarinsky, Mike. He's dropped out of the race. He had a wheel bearing go in his car. He's another one. He's kind of like Bobby Henry right now. He's a little bit snake bit. 5 years of racing, never had a wheel bearing go.
Decides to hand out a hat to the lucky kids, and looking like, holy smokes, I've seen some wedding receptions a lot tamer than that.
I think Ron just won 300 fans. Second win, Ron.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. These guys put a tough weekend. We made it through.
First win, everybody says, yeah, he won one. Second win, backs it up, goes to prove that you are a race driver, you do have a race car.
Well, I can't do it without my team. We put a tough weekend, changed car all around. Run's good right now. I hope we're going to be back more.
The street stock division's a real tough division right now. You and Brian Audie really fighting it out at the top of the points. Seems like every week at least 6 cars can win the feature.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of us up there running up front. Just takes time. We're just lucky enough to come out front tonight.
Ron, how long have you been racing?
5 years.
5 years, second win. Ron Coyle, thanks, sir.
Tony's Light Street Stocks campaign wins. Bennick's old pace car into the pits, hits up the stump on the point. Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Down the front straightaway, it's a block of automobiles into turns 1 and 2. Butch Durkis crossed up, trying to hang on to lead. Oh, we got cars! Look out! Mitzi Shawless overcorrects and buys the wall. We're still not done. Oh, hard impacts down the back straight. Mitzi Shawless trying to overcorrect the trying to correct the automobile, overcorrecting. The chassis settles, and she makes an abrupt Dave Brunel. Looking for a complete restart. Let's see what happens. Starter Ron Brunt looks him over. Anticipating the green flag, Stump and Durkis. Field tightens up in turn 4. Green's on folder. We're up to speed and racing. Will we go to the refrigerator? No, we want no sandwich, 3 wide jobs this time. The field stays side by side, and Durkis takes over the lead. A carbon copy of the prior restart. Now we open the refrigerator and pull out the mayonnaise. There's a sandwich job at turn 3. Oh, the flying sign painter decides to put some donuts between himself and this. Oh, look at this on the front straight. Moves too numerous to call, race fans. Into 1 and 2. Like a bowling ball scattering pins at the end of an alley. The cars all over the racing surface, shuffling for positions. Sean the Bullet Beam begins to move up on this field. Tim Stump has his hands full. A rear view mirror full of both Beam and Hemminger's automobile. That's Larry Lee into 76. Into 1 and 2. Butch Durkis holds on to the point position. Still squirrely. Here comes the Bullet to the low side of Stump's automobile. And you Ford fans have got a Torino up to the 4th place position. Meanwhile, Dave Brunel tries the low side on Durkis' automobile. Oh, Brunel easy! Oh no! We're still not done! Hang on to it, guys! Look at Bickerstaff! Oh, what a job these guys did at controlling mechanical mayhem down the front straightaway. My goodness, Joey Chimwood Thrill Show, cancel it. We've got it going tonight. Into turns 3 and 4, Sean Beam and Dave Brunel. Out of turn 4. Turns 1 and 2. Dave Brunel on the high-tech hobbies number 1. Dirt tracks to the low side of Sean Beam's automobile. Cannot make the move. Beam continues high, wide, handsome down the back straight. Same thing going on between Griffith and Bickerstaff as they battle for position in turn 3. Meanwhile, your lead automobile is Butch Durkis. Rick Sheeler hangs on to second. Dave Brunel dirt tracks the car. Here comes Beam once again. 2 determined drivers working into turns 1 and 2. It's Ford versus Chevy exiting out of turn 2. Meanwhile, Rick Sheeler begins to close in on Durkis. Oh my goodness, we're still side by side. Boy, if these guys were politicians, they could be shaking hands for the last 5 minutes in a row. We continue down the front straightaway. It is still Brunel and the 28 of Beam. Fender to fender, wheel to wheel, lug nut to lug nut, winner at the wheel, net in a battle for third. Meanwhile, Sheila begins the pressure for the lead spot. They dive down into turn 3 and 4, and Durkas denies them the opportunity. Sheila trying to play the salesman. Meanwhile, Sean Beam to the outside of Dave Brunel. My goodness, you can't, oh, they hit on the front straight. And there's a donut on Brunel's automobile. Those cars trading some sheet metal on the front straight. Now they move down the back straight, and all the while the battle for the lead unfolds in turn 3 as Durkas denies the opportunity on Sheila, who's playing the salesman. Meanwhile, Beam has the handle on Brunel. Now all of a sudden Brunel comes back up when Beam dirt tracks the automobile. Sean Beam able to complete the pass on Dave Brunel, but he'll soon find some traffic in front of him, believe it or not, the leaders. Here comes Sheila to Marcy's Hair Salon 74, trying to break some daylight between himself and Butch Durkas, and he's able to accomplish the pass on lap 8. Working into 1 and 2, Larry Lee Heminger now joining this battle for the lead. Durkas really dirt tracks the automobile. Sean Beam with an opportunity goes to the high side. They work into turns 3 and 4, and the Bullet trying to take over the bridesmaid spot. They wrestle through turn 4, and here comes Sean Beam. Oh, Durkas really, look out, Butch, he does a beautiful job of holding on to that car. Butch Durkas loses 2 spots with a car that has the handling going away on the right rear tire of that automobile. Here comes Larry Lee Heminger. Now he decides to close in on this battle. Meanwhile, Brunel still, oh, what a tussle in 4. And Durkas stays to the low side and loses another position. Into 1 and 2. Larry Lee Heminger now closes up to the back bumper. Rat-a-tat-tat there with Butch Durkas as a battle for position. Rick Sheila continues to lead this event. He, Larry Heminger, are the only 2 people that have broken the streak of Sean Beam into victory lane. Beam continues closing in with time running out. Only 3 laps in this event. Now Larry Lee Heminger in a struggle for 4th in turn 1, dives on the low side of the 87 of Durkas. But Durkas denies the opportunity. Durkas gets crossed up. Here comes Larry Lee, and he moves into the 4th spot. Working out of turn 4, we've got a horse race for the lead. 2 laps remaining. Rick Sheila holds on to it, but Sean the Bullet Beam closes up on his back bumper. Exiting out of turn 2. Beam now playing the salesman. Durkas has a hold of the door. Will he be able to close it on Beam's effort? This time around, race fans, the white flag unfolded, 1 lap remaining. Beam power sliding the automobile, but it's Sheila up front. They dive into turns 1 and 2. There's no lap traffic to cause any hassle in this battle for the lead. Sean Beam trying to put the pressure on Rick Sheila. Sheila up to the task. A half a lap remaining. And Beam dives to the low side on Sheila. They get close together. Look at this on a 4. Who's it going to be at the checker race fans? Oh, Beam wins it. Wow. Holy smokes, with a half a lap remaining, it looked like Sean Beam was out of his bag of tricks and trying to pull. Fans, as you exit on the speedway, don't forget about our back exit. That is also open, recently excavated for your convenience. Sean Beam can hear you now. A nice round of applause for the Bullet. Sean Beam from Somerset, picking up the AC Delca 15-lap event for the Pure Stocks. Don't forget, everybody, to have a safe evening on your way home. We'll see you at Jennerstown Speedway. $2 will get you in tomorrow night. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. Also, Clearfield Mountain Sundays at 6. Call them at 814-76-TRACK. And have a safe week. Don't forget to watch Chase to the Checkered. And as always, we'll see you at the races. This is Mike Nelson bidding you a good evening. We'll turn it down to Joe. Roll it.
Thanks.
Sean Beam. Sean, tell me about the move coming down the last lap.
I didn't think he was going to give me enough room there, but he moved up just a tad. We bumped a little. It shouldn't happen, but that's racing.
Looked a little bit like a finish to a Winston.
Oh, I liked it there. I like racing like that.
Yeah, you're a little excited. That gets the blood pumping. Yeah, can I get him? Can I get him? And you got him.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, JW Industrial, Midas Muffler, Jim Barron Trucking. Most of all, I'd like to thank my dad and my grandma and all my crew. All my crew.
Okay, Sean Bean.